Hi everybody, let's do a short video on the internal workings on a Sachs 504 single speed automatic moped engine, basically 47cc single cylinder. This particular engine's out of a KTM Hobby, which is the Foxy model. That's a Foxy Deluxe from 1973, which I picked up probably about a month ago now, so I'm halfway through sort of restoring that. Takes a lot of doing because this was particularly bad. It's actually the second Foxy model that I've done and the third KTM Hobby in total. Plus I've got another one that's waiting as well. So engine's obviously out. I've stripped it down, cleaned it up, put a bit of spray on it as well. So I just thought this is actually upside down, so this is the lower casing. This is how you work on these. So obviously the screws there are easier to get to. So it's actually completely opposite of what you would see when it's fitted on the bike and the right way up. But yeah, this one was actually swimming in water. So I had to do quite a bit of reworking on that casing just to get it tight for a start, stop it from leaking and whatever. Yeah, so here we go. This is quite straightforward with these. So we have obviously the flywheel, and this is the sprocket there goes to the rear wheel. I'll just grab the sprockets. Okay, so there's the sprocket. It's 11-tooth sprocket. Yep, so that goes to so there's obviously chain drive to the rear wheel, and I'll say it's actually the other side because this is upside down. And this is actually a pedal start one, so you have a pedal shaft, which took some getting out and cleaning up yesterday, which sits or goes through the frame, so just behind the engine, and then you have the rear wheel's that way. So this just sits back here, so when you want to start it, you have to pedal. I'll show you that a little bit, how that works. Yeah, and then basically, you know, very simple, very small little crankshaft. Obviously piston would go on here, and yes, so the whole thing actually turns. So this is, so when you twist the throttle to make it go faster, increase RPM, you then get drive to the rear wheels. Now I'm doing this slowly because I wanted to show that this is the clutch bit here. So when it is actually driving, the whole thing turns together. Purely it works on centrifugal force, the drive side of it. So you have what they call a donut in here. I'm sure you can see that very well. It's basically segments, round segments. It does literally look like a donut with a spring that goes through the middle, and as obviously you increase the RPM, it expands, and as it expands it goes up the curved washer that sits inside the bell. It's not actually goes through the curve of the bell, there's actually another washer that's the other side there, and it goes basically as it expands, the curved washer, so it pushes that way. And then you have the clutch plates get pushed together, and I'll show you this, but obviously I can't show you that way, but basically you have the clutch plates, which aren't fitted at the moment, just really for demonstration purposes, and the fact that I haven't got any because these were knackered, and I've had to order some there on their way, and it locks up this whole unit, and then you get drive to the rear wheel. So you've got to imagine that the clutch is engaged at the moment, this is all squeezed up, so it's locked solid, and you get drive to the rear sprocket. Now at the moment, as it is, in actual fact it's neutral, because there's no clutch plates fitted, so when it's idling you just get the crankshaft turning, and the crankshaft obviously comes right through to here, and you have a splined section on there as well, which these plates here and go on to. Okay, so simple as that. So engine idling, that's all that's happening. So there's no drive to the rear wheel. So that's one way. So it's through here. When this is locked up, you get drive to the rear wheel. So it's that way and that way, and then out obviously to the chain. Now when you start these, you pedal. So as I said before, you have your pedals even. So you pedal like mad. So you have a chain this side which goes to the rear wheel, which is that way, down there. Then it comes back again because there's two chains on these. So you've got your pedal chain and then your main drive chain. So it goes to the rear wheel, through, and then back again. And you're pedaling, so it's driving this. Now, as you can see again, because it's in neutral, it's not turning the crank. Yeah. Now, for starting these, you have a decompression lever on the left-hand side of the handlebar, which does two things. One, it decreases the compression inside the engine, so you can turn it over a little bit easier. And it also acts on this clutch lever basically. So the cable comes in here, obviously attaches to there. As you pull your lever, so you pull your lever, as you pull it, it acts on this lever, and you can see it acts on this end of the clutch bell assembly. So it would squeeze the plates together, locking this up. So when you're turning your pedals, and you're turning, that way, so this is all locked. You're turning your pedals, and you can see the whole thing will just turn together. So you're turning the crank then by pedaling, simple as that. Then when it starts, you release the decompression lever. This just springs back. There's an additional spring on there actually, which is this here. So this releases, you can see it releases those plates. Engine's idle, and engine idle, that's all that's happening. So simple as that. Working, there we go. And you increase RPM, and say this expands, pushes on the plates from the other way, engages the clutch, locks the whole thing up, and then you get drive. It's quite straightforward actually. So just centrifugal force, and a couple of washers, a couple of clutch plates, and that's it. I'll try and do another video just to show that a little bit in more detail with that stripped down. But yeah, so that's it. So I'm just waiting for parts to arrive, and carry on with the repair on this one, and I'll try and do a bench test, and then hopefully I can show you that as well. So just finished off doing the cylinder head on these. So on the 504s, this is what they call the jug. So as you can see, there's no cylinder head. This is the bore and the head all in one. So this has all been sandblasted. I was hoping to keep it original, just bare aluminium, but unfortunately this was so bad I just couldn't clean it up properly. So I got some high temperature silver spray yesterday, or aluminium spray they call it, which actually makes it look really good. And that will be that way. So that's where I am with it at the moment. So I'm just waiting for parts, and then we'll hopefully get it back together, and get it running on a bench, and we'll do a video of that as well. Okay, thanks for watching. Please like or comment, and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks very much. Cheers, bye.